Let's talk about Bitcoin and if you should be investing in Bitcoin. And one of the popular questions is, what really is Bitcoin? We all know it's digital currency, but what really is it? Or how does it help us? And I'll answer that question and explain simply what Bitcoin is and how it should help us. And then you'll have a better idea on if you want to invest in Bitcoin or maybe you just want to learn more about it. Now, Bitcoin has been on the forefront of the news and in the investment community because the price keeps climbing and at a very high rate. And now you have not only individual investors purchasing Bitcoin, but companies such as PayPal who will be allowing people to trade or pay with Bitcoin. You also now have a few ATMs that are for Bitcoin, and most popularly, we have Tesla and Elon Musk who invested in Bitcoin. And so I think more and more institutions will be investing in Bitcoin. Now, first off, let's talk about Bitcoin and how it helps us and what problems it solves so you can understand the real reason why Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency will become popular. And we have about 4 other cryptocurrencies that are very popular right now. Now, before I talk about this, just a very quick reminder here. If you are new to this channel or you're watching one of my videos or seeing me for the very first time, my name is Ian and I post videos here on YouTube every single day on topics relating to making money and personal finance. So if you'd like to see more of these videos, give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to this channel and turning on all notifications. And that way you'll be able to get the updates every day when I post a new video here. Now, when you do a transaction right now, a financial transaction, it is processed by a bank or multiple banks or credit card companies. And so this takes time and there's also a cost to it, even if you don't pay or maybe the cost is very small. And then there are also risks. There are risks that while your information is being processed by bank A to bank B to bank C, it could be compromised. Hackers hack banks all the time. They hack accounts and there's also identity theft. Now, there's also the risk of people coming in contact with your data. Sure, you can trust them or most of them at the bank, but as it is right now, the financial system still has some small flaws that could potentially be compromised. Now, Bitcoin and digital currencies are here to solve this or at least some of these issues. With Bitcoin, for example, we remove the banks and the credit card companies and all the middlemen, so to speak. So now we directly process all transactions immediately, and this way transactions are instant, they're safer, and they should cost a lot less because you don't have any fees to pay, or at least not banking and credit card processing fees. So without the hype around Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin is actually a very valuable tool or currency. Now, whichever way you want to put it, and these are just some of the advantages of using Bitcoin or many other cryptocurrencies. So now, because of all these useful features that Bitcoin would have over traditional banking and traditional transactions with cash in general, people naturally want to use this system instead, and that's why people began mining Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has actually been around for about 22 years. Think about this, right? If I give you a digital currency that removes banks and their fees, is safer from online criminals, and is harder for people to steal your money and is also untraceable, you would definitely want to use it instead of regular cash. Now, because there are no fees and it's instant and also transactions aren't reversible and you can be anonymous, Bitcoin began its rise to popularity. So we have a digital currency that can solve some problems and people want to start using it. And so the price increases and then comes the rush of investors and then institutions. And that brings us up to where we are today. Now, before we talk about if you should be investing in Bitcoin, you may also be wondering how this justifies the price of Bitcoin increasing by over 900% in just a few months. And this is actually very, very easy to understand. Just as with anything else, if you make it easier for people to have access to or invest, then it drives the demand and the price goes up. So previously, if you wanted Bitcoin, you would have to either trade with me and hope that I would take your cash and actually transfer Bitcoins to your digital wallet. and not just take your money and rip you off, which was very popular. And so people were afraid to get Bitcoin for fear of being ripped off. And then you could also go to Coinbase or some other marketplace, but depending on where you are, you may or may not be able to purchase Bitcoin, or maybe you can't use a credit card to do it. And then even if you wanted to mine Bitcoin yourself, it wasn't the simplest of processes and required a good deal of expensive hardware and the use of electricity. And so this prevented a lot of people from getting into Bitcoin earlier on. But now in 2021, you have popular online brokerages such as Robinhood, Webull, and others allowing you to simply purchase Bitcoin in the app that you already use. Now, some of these services aren't actually allowing you to purchase Bitcoin. They're just simulating it and moving with the value of real coins. And I'll make another video about how to actually get real Bitcoins and store them safely. But now, if you want Bitcoins this year, you can easily get them. So the main question was, should you be investing in Bitcoin in 2021 and beyond? And the answer is, that depends. We have experts who believe that Bitcoin will get to 100K soon, and some are even saying it will surpass that and even go over $500,000. Now, let's remove the hype and actually look at why they think this way, and I'll use one example. The current market cap of Bitcoin is around 847 billion. Now, this may change when you see this video, as I'm recording this video probably 5 or 6 days before you watch it, but it should be somewhere around there still at that time. Now, if we compare this to a well-known company, a well-known successful company like Amazon, for example, we can see that Amazon's market cap is around 1.5 trillion. So at the moment, Amazon is twice the size. If we look at gold, for example, it has a market cap of around 10 trillion. So Bitcoin is undervalued, or at least by expert evaluations, it is undervalued and has a long way to go. And so this is a part of the reason why many believe that Bitcoin can and will easily triple its value in the coming months. People believe that Bitcoin will be more important than some of the largest companies around today, and so the coin seems to be undervalued, and I also agree. Now, if Bitcoin becomes the choice for trading in the future, it is definitely undervalued. Also, with the current currency, governments can print money or more money and add it to the economy, which causes the currency to lose value each time. Now, they probably shouldn't, but we can't really do anything to stop them. However, with Bitcoin, this isn't the case, which is also why Bitcoin is different from other cryptocurrencies. There are a set number of Bitcoins that can be mined and then no more. I think the number is around 22 or 21 million Bitcoins. And so the more people buy Bitcoins, the less is available. And this works in the reverse. So this should also drive the price of Bitcoin up even further. Now, in addition to all this, Bitcoin also has decreasing inflation. And I'm saying inflation because it isn't deflation, or at least not in the normal sense. There is a process known as halving, and this happens about every 4 to 5 years. And when Bitcoin is halved, the reward for mining the same amount of Bitcoins is cut in half, hence the term halving. So every 4 to 5 years, it will be more work and less rewards. So this will gradually slow the amount of, or should slow the amount of Bitcoins mined, and also make it more difficult, or at least more costly to mine Bitcoins, which then reduces the inflation rate of the coin and then further drives up the price because it will now cost double what it would have cost before to mine the same amount of coins. Now, the most recent Bitcoin halving took place in May 11 or in May 11, 2020, and another halving is expected somewhere in 2024. Now, this is not financial advice. Do as you please. I'm just giving you guys the what and why. So if you didn't already know, you can now have a better understanding as to what Bitcoin really is, because the reports and headlines don't speak about it. All you see is Bitcoin is going up and everybody is pawning their stuff to get in. Now, I personally invest in Bitcoin. I do. I have been in Bitcoin since around 2015 when I found out about it. However, Bitcoin is a very high risk investment, or in my opinion, it is, because based on the facts or what we know so far, you could argue that Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is the future, and I would agree with you, but we can't say for sure if Bitcoin will be the choice or the cryptocurrency of choice to be widely accepted. And I know that PayPal and MasterCard and also Apple are now or will now be allowing you to process transactions using Bitcoin, but I still think it's a little too early to say for sure that the cryptocurrency of choice that will be the standard is going to be Bitcoin and not another cryptocurrency. It could be another cryptocurrency, and I could be wrong, but this is just my opinion. Now, one limitation I mentioned is that only 22 million Bitcoins can be mined, or 21 million. Now, there could be another coin that doesn't have a limit that also allows more coins to be mined faster and at a lower cost that goes mainstream instead of Bitcoin. And I'm saying this because there are countries around the world that have banned Bitcoin for various reasons, and that can also happen as well. Now, the reward for investing in Bitcoin right now is very, very high. And so for that reason, and all things considered, I will still invest in Bitcoin, but I will just be careful to invest amounts that I can comfortably do so. And this is just my approach with any investments in general. Also, high risk investments are very good when they pay off. You could invest 10K in Bitcoin, and in 6 to 9 months, you could make 6 times your money. So invest if you must. I hope you make a lot of money if you choose to invest in Bitcoin. And I hope this video helps you to understand more about Bitcoin, its intended purpose, and how Bitcoin is supposed to help us in the future. Now, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below, and also tell me if you already invest in Bitcoin or if this is something that you'll be interested in investing in right now. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like the content. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get the updates every day when I post new videos here. Check all the links down below in the description for free and helpful stuff, which includes Webull, where you can get into stocks and crypto and get 2 free stocks for using the link, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.